welcome. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Your video is about to start. I just wanted to invite you to take a moment with me to remember our deployed military members who cannot be home like most of us can be. It is a cause that is near and dear to my husband's heart and therefore my own as well. And if you feel like it, take a moment with us. Enjoy your video. Bye-bye. Happy Friday, TGIF, and it is Friday Fraud Law Review. I think for the next few weeks, I'll be focusing on, which is kind of always a mishmash otherwise, but I just happened to look at the list and it looks like in June, July, there's been a lot of busts on Social Security Administration employees, now former employees, in the early 20s that were finally caught and are now being prosecuted and convicted here in 2025. I thought it might be good to focus on them, not because anybody else is under, excuses for doing these bad things. I call them out all the time. But when you work for the very entity that you are now, when it's government, you're working for the taxpayers, stealing from those taxpayers, it's even worse because you're in a position of trust. And the other area I never leave out either, and there just seems to be a lot of them currently, and I might focus on them as well, is when someone who is illegally trespassing here not only does that, which is bad enough, but then goes ahead and steals from our Social Security funds and or our other areas, particularly areas of generosity, which is not Social Security. That's something people work and pay for. No one's being generous to them. But when there comes to welfare or other freebies and they fraudulently obtain those to the detriment of those that they were intended for, which is usually the needy. So let's get to it. Today's this is in Georgia, Northern District of Georgia. In particular, I think I saw it was Norcross, Georgia. I'm going to say the name because this woman pled guilty, and this was on June 26th. She pled guilty, and the report came out June 27th. Christina Daniels, a former employee of the Social Security Administration, she did plead guilty in federal court to theft of government property and aggravated identity theft. It's so funny because when you mention the actual specific crime, you have no idea what it is, right? So going further, according to the U.S. attorney, and from the charges and other information presented in court, between January 2023 and May of 2024, so we're talking a little over a year, Ms. Daniels used her position at the Social Security Administration office in Norcross, Georgia. Many of you have probably met her if you're from the area around Norcross, to change the direct deposit information for approximately 28, that's over 24 beneficiaries. As a customer service representative, Daniels was able to make changes to beneficiaries' direct deposit information. She abused this authority to steal more than $10,000. She accomplished her theft by first opening a Green Dot and Cash App accounts using personally identifiable information belonging to unwitting SSA, Social Security beneficiaries. After she created the new accounts, she changed the direct deposit of the unsuspecting beneficiaries to one of the newly opened Green Dot or Cash App accounts that she controlled. An internal investigation was launched after several retirement beneficiaries reported that they had not received their monthly benefit payments. You don't say. I think most people are going to start complaining the first time they don't receive 1 month. Subsequent internal and law enforcement investigations revealed that Daniels had changed the direct deposit information for approximately 28 beneficiaries, and that she redirected the funds to accounts that she opened using the stolen PII, guys, that's personally identifying information of other beneficiaries, some of whom were her family members. Wow, what a winner, huh? Talk about selfish. Talk about having zero values. Anyway, she's 47 years old, should clearly know better. She's of Winder, Georgia. So let's say it out loud. Christina Daniels, 47, of Winder, Georgia, pled guilty to 1 count of theft of government money, which carries a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison, and 1 count of aggravated identity theft, which carries a mandatory consecutive sentence of 2 years of imprisonment. Now, going back to it, guys, it's funny how they get them to plead, and they give them they only plead guilty to one of the wrongs. And here we have at least 28 times whatever amount of crimes are committed for each person. But she really only pled guilty to 2 things. I guess it's because otherwise maybe she would be subject to prison that would keep her in there for life. I don't know. And a lot of people say if it's not a violent crime, we need to leave space for the violent criminals. I get that. I would just like to see external, punishments. Sorry, I heard screeching outside. External forms of the punishment for something to be more than just probation, parole, maybe a little house arrest for a few years, something to add to it. Community service is fine, I suppose, except I understand it's kind of costly because there's got to be someone supervising that person, someone administering it. So I don't know to what extent that's good. I'd love to know more, I suppose, if someone has more data that it is really beneficial. I do realize it's a pain in the arse for the perp, and maybe that in itself is punishment. That can be good. Anyway, we'll see what she gets. Everything is scheduled for a future date before, and I don't have a date mentioned. As you can hear, the dogs are barking. That's because someone is coming up to the front door. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Hello again. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful, if not just a little bit informative. In the event you have a Social Security question you want addressed, please feel free to make a comment below and ask the question, even if nothing to do with this particular video. And just a quick, again, reminder, we have our daily video shares and tips around noon every day of the week. And on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have our live Q&A session where you can come in live and enter your questions in the chat. And we all pretty much have a good time for an hour or two. I look forward to seeing you there, hopefully. And lastly, don't forget about our benefactor memberships. They're very reasonably priced. The first one is very nominal and you get a few perks, but on a bigger scale, it contributes to us being able to fulfill a mission of assisting certain people with representation that would otherwise not be able to get it. We look forward to continuing to do that. And so far it's working out like the bomb. So thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Bye-bye now.